These are the 21 most hated actors of 2025, starting with Kim Kardashian, who is hated for 8 main reasons. We just took a poll, and it seems like Kim to particularly hated because she became famous through a leaked tape in 2007, rather than through skill or merit. People also don't like that Kris Jenner, Kim's mom, was allegedly directly involved in orchestrating the tape's release as a publicity stunt. Many also find her materialistic and tone-deaf. During the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, Kim posted pictures of a lavish private island birthday party, saying she felt humbled and privileged to celebrate just like before COVID, with people labeling the post out of touch and insensitive when millions were dying and struggling financially. In 2022, she appeared on Variety, telling women to get up and work, prompting major vitriol from working-class communities and critics who felt she had no understanding of real-world labor or barriers others face. She's also been accused of cultural appropriation, like when she credited the cornrows she wore to the MTV Movie and TV Awards to Bo Derek, a white actress, thereby erasing black culture, or that time she named her shapewear kimono, disrespecting Japanese culture in the process. Her 72-day marriage to Kris Humphries was labeled a sham, and people didn't like that it could have been a staged storyline for her reality show, and people resent her for glamorizing extreme wealth and consumption. In 2022, she admitted to owning multiple warehouses full of clothes she never wears. And how about that time in Bora Bora when she cried for losing her $75,000 earring after Kris Humphries threw her into the ocean? Fans dislike her for promoting unhealthy beauty standards. Some hate how she popularizes the exaggerated hourglass figure through alleged cosmetic surgeries and heavily edited images. And in 2022, she revealed in an interview that she lost 16 pounds in 3 weeks to fit into Marilyn Monroe's dress for the Met Gala, a move condemned by dietitians and health experts for promoting dangerous weight loss methods. Her promotion of appetite-suppressant lollipops on Instagram in 2018 was also slammed by eating disorder recovery groups. Now, if you think Kim Kardashian is loathed, wait till you see the Hollywood star hated for slut-shaming and self-deprecation later in this video. Number 20. Rachel Zegler. Fans do not like Rachel Zegler here for intertwining her craft with political advocacy. Zegler's candid critique of the 1937 Snow White film also drew hate. In a 2022 Variety interview, she described elements of the original Snow White as outdated and labeled The Prince's Pursuit a stalker story, remarks which were widely pounced upon as condescending. When the initial uproar spiked, Zegler issued a series of apologies on social media, stating she meant no disrespect to Disney's legacy or its fans. Critics, however, argued that her mea culpas felt scripted, pointing out that the apology posts were quickly deleted and rephrased. Some fans also argue that her vocal strength proved a misfit for Snow White's delicate, ethereal tone. On Reddit threads, users noted that her singing voice was too strong and lacked the soft timbre traditionally associated with the character. Others also don't like Zegler's outspoken identity politics, labeling her a poster child for Hollywood virtue signaling. Number 19. Alec Baldwin and his wife Hilaria Thomas. People find Alec angry and abusive, and many hate that back in 2007, he left a now infamous voicemail for his then 11-year-old daughter, Ireland Baldwin, calling her a rude, thoughtless little pig, with the audio leaking during a nasty custody battle with Kim Basinger. Fast forward to 2011, he was booted off an American Airlines flight after refusing to stop playing Words with Friends on his phone, blasting the airline publicly instead of apologizing. Then there's the 2013 episode when he was caught on video calling a paparazzo a homophobic slur, leading to the cancellation of his MSNBC show, Up Late with Alec Baldwin after just 5 episodes. People also hate Alec's smug public persona, calling it insufferable, and he routinely talks down to folks. After the Rust shooting, He gave a combative interview to ABC's George Stephanopoulos and insisted he didn't pull the trigger, despite FBI forensic reports later concluding that the gun couldn't have fired without someone doing exactly that. Instead of showing humility, he doubled down, posting long-winded Instagram rants, and even reenacting scenes from Rust while under investigation. His decision to resume production on Rust in 2023 with himself, still as lead actor and producer, was seen by many as grotesque and tone-deaf. Vanity Fair called it a bewildering act of ego. On the other hand, his wife Hilaria Thomas is reviled so much for faking a Spanish identity to the point where her stepdaughter Ireland Baldwin has had to jump to her defense. Born and raised in Boston to two white American parents, she spent years pretending to be from Spain, adopting a fake accent, speaking in broken English during interviews, and even forgetting the English word for cucumber on live television. She once told Latina magazine she moved from Spain to the US at 19. Her old bio on the CAA talent agency site falsely stated she was born in Mallorca. Yet public records show she attended the elite Cambridge School of Weston in Massachusetts. When she was finally exposed in 2020, social media exploded. Even comedian Amy Schumer, who is coming up later in the video, mocked her faux identity.
I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. Hilaria Baldwin.
While Spanish people online called her a colonial cosplay. The hate was so intense that Hilaria disabled comments and went silent online for weeks. We cannot also forget that time she emasculated his hubby on camera.
Oh my God, when I'm talking, you're not talking. No, when I'm talking, you're not talking.
Yikes. Number 18, Jennifer Lopez. Some people detest J.Lo here for being a diva. Meghan McCain has even described her as deeply unpleasant.
She just is a deeply unpleasant person.
During an appearance on The View, people also hated her recent multimedia project, including an album, movie, and documentary titled This Is Me. Now, for being too self-indulgent and lacking substance, with some calling the entire thing cheesy, unremarkable, and awkward. Artists like Ashanti and Christina Milian have claimed that Lopez used their vocals on hit songs such as I'm Real and Play without proper acknowledgement, and there have been accusations that Lopez lip-syncs during live performances, leading to questions about her vocal abilities and authenticity as a performer. Her past relationship with Sean Diddy Combs, a relationship marked by legal troubles, including a nightclub shooting incident in 1999 where both were arrested, is also drawing scrutiny, with parents are also not big fans because of her 2020 Super Bowl halftime show, with many of them complaining that it was too provocative for a family-friendly event, encouraged sex trafficking, and provided no prior public warnings, ultimately receiving over 1,300 complaints to the FCC. Then there is the Moroccan Prime Minister, who called her performances indecent. And let's not forget that tip-thieving incident when Ben Affleck left a casino waitress a $10,000 tip, only for Lopez to allegedly snatch it back yelling, "Hell no," and replacing it with a few dollar gratuity. Jeez. Number 17, James Corden. James Corden is hated. A lot. People find James Corden insufferable for his off-camera attitude. Former restaurant staff have accused him of being one of the rudest customers ever. In 2022, Keith McNally, owner of the famous NYC restaurant Balthazar, publicly banned Corden, saying he was a tiny cretin of a man, and recounting incidents of Corden yelling at staff over an egg yolk in his wife's omelet. People also detest his huge ego. Actor Max Beasley once said Corden needed a slap due to his ego when they worked together early in Corden's career. He's also disingenuous. Evidently so, when a viral 2019 clip showed Corden not actually driving the car during carpool karaoke, with a crew member revealing that the car was towed on a rig. Fans also didn't like that he was a fame leech and attached himself to more talented celebrities for attention. Case in point, In Adele's 2023 farewell carpool segment, many viewers complained that Corden made it more about himself than her, even breaking into tears while referencing his own career move, and Billie Eilish fans had a similar reaction after he posted behind-the-scenes content during her appearance, which many called clout chasing. People also think he isn't funny, with critics from The Guardian and The Independent calling his performance at the 2021 Oscars embarrassing and painfully unfunny. People disliked him in the box office flop Cats, and Rolling Stone said he torpedoed the film's already fragile tone. Number 16. Meghan Markle. Many don't like that Meghan is a bully. She's faced allegations of bullying during her tenure as a working royal, behavior that led to the resignation of 2 personal assistants and undermined the confidence of a 3rd staff member. Folks later pointed out the irony when Meghan and Harry launched an anti-bullying campaign under their Archewell banner, with outlets branding them hypocrites for campaigning against behavior she was accused of exhibiting. People are also mad at her for exploiting the royal brand even after relinquishing their royal titles. Many saw them as wanting the perks of royalty without the responsibility after Meghan and Harry signed multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix, Spotify, and book publishers. She's also come under fire when, in a March 2025 podcast gift, Meghan's handwritten note bore the Her Royal Highness title she and Harry were meant to relinquish, sparking royal commentators' ire that she was offensively flouting protocol. People loathed her Oprah interview where she talked about a royal family member's unease about her son's skin tone, and a lot of people can't stand her occasionally misfiring rebrand ventures. In March 2024, a shop owner complained that her pop-up as Everline plagiarized existing branding, and more recently, folks and her Netflix documentary With Love. Meghan, as a desperate bid for relevance. Number 15. Oprah Winfrey. Some accuse Oprah of abetting pseudoscience by uncritically promoting self-help gurus and dubious medical claims. In 2008, she crowned Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth as a book club pick without probing its New Age mysticism, despite Tolle's claims about transcending reality. And a year later, she gave Suzanne Summers free rein on her stage to tout unproven bioidentical hormones and cancer cure protocols that many oncologists condemned. People have also lambasted her flagship school in South Africa, the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls, for lavish excesses, yoga studios, beauty salons, and high thread count sheets, while students lived under strict visitation rules likened to prison by parents. And folks didn't like that. In its inaugural year, a dorm matron was arrested after multiple students alleged physical and sexual abuse. Some within the Black community have accused her of being selective in her support. She's been criticized for publicly backing victims of alleged abuse by Black men like Michael Jackson and Russell Simmons, but staying silent or supportive when it involved white men in power, and Black actresses such as Monique and Taraji P. Henson have accused her or derailing their careers. People also aren't big fans of her being a billionaire and going out to ask for money for the Maui fires when she should just have contributed it herself. Some have argued that she crossed boundaries with guests during vulnerable moments or used people's pain for ratings in her interviews, and some still won't believe that she rubbed shoulders with sleazeballs like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein and didn't know what they were up to. Number 14. Amber Heard. Amber Heard will be forever hated for hijacking the Me Too movement for her own publicity by writing a false 2018 Washington Post op-ed in which she described herself as a victim of domestic abuse and brought the career of a beloved good guy almost to a halt. People abhor her for getting physical with Depp. Recordings were played in court during the Depp v. Heard trial, where Heard appeared to admit to hitting Depp and mocking the idea that anyone would believe he was the victim. In one, she is heard stating, "Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, I, Johnny Depp, a man, am a victim of domestic violence, and see how many people believe or side with you. Folks are also mad at her for pooping on Depp's bed and blaming it on the dog, shattering and severing the tip of Depp's finger with a vodka bottle, and damaging his career. After Heard's op-ed and accusations, Johnny Depp lost major roles in franchises like Pirates of the Caribbean and Fantastic Beasts, and many fans believe that her claims, later deemed defamatory, unfairly destroyed his reputation and income. Many also despised her demeanor during the trial. Her facial expressions, forced crying, and dramatic pauses came out as fake.
My dog stepped on a bee. We went to the
and were the subject of viral memes and TikToks that mocked her every move. Number 12. Jada Pinkett Smith. The most infamous chapter in Jada's public life came in 2020 when she admitted to an entanglement
I got into a different kind of entanglement.
with R&B singer August Alsina, a friend of her son's, and what drew resentment among fans wasn't just the relationship itself, it was the way she framed and revealed it. Folks felt her use of the vague term entanglement to describe what Alsina clearly saw as a serious relationship was dismissive and manipulative, and people detested how this revelation was aired out publicly on Red Table Talk with Will present and visibly emotional, with many saying he was humiliated on a global stage. Fans are also mad at her for exerting a toxic or manipulative influence over Will Smith. This sentiment peaked during the 2022 Oscars slap incident, when Will struck Chris Rock after a joke about Jada. Although she didn't tell him to slap Rock, fans believe her visible displeasure contributed to Will's emotional state, prompting a reckless decision. Folks hate that she can't seem to shut up about Tupac Shakur, writing poems about him, posting tributes, and even claiming he proposed to her while in jail, disrespecting his husband in the process. And her parenting style hasn't served to help either. For instance, Willow Smith's letter to Tupac, written as a child, asking rapper Tupac Shakur to come back to make her mom happy, resurfaced and disturbed many, who questioned why she was involved in her mother's past relationships to that extent. Number 11. Chrissy Teigen. Fans simply hate Chrissy Teigen for being a cyberbully. In 2021, model Courtney Stodden went public, accusing Teigen of harassment and bullying, beginning when Stodden was just 16, sharing screenshots of tweets in which Teigen taunted them to dirt nap and simply declared, "I hate you." Fashion designer Michael Costello followed with similar charges, revealing that Teigen's messages drove him into suicidal ideation, while reality star Farrah Abraham and writer Taylor Ferber each recounted abusive DMs and public taunts. She was labeled cruel and hypocritical because these revelations deeply contradicted her public persona as a supportive and inclusive feminist. Number 10. Chris Brown. Some people can't stand Chris Brown for being violent, period. The most infamous incident remains his 2009 assault on Rihanna, where he left her face in a not-so-good state on the night of the Grammys. But that wasn't a one-off. In 2016, he was arrested after a woman, Bailey Curran, called 911, claiming he pulled a gun on her. In 2021, another woman accused him of hitting her so hard her weave came off, with LAPD confirming the incident. His ex-girlfriend Karrueche Tran was also granted a 5-year restraining order after she told a court that Brown got physical with her. Others find him downright arrogant and unremorseful. After the Rihanna assault, he went on Larry King Live, in a baby blue sweater, looking dazed and confused, insisting he didn't remember beating her.
You remember doing it?
No.
Then came the Good Morning America meltdown in 2011, when Robin Roberts asked him about the incident and he stormed backstage. Number 9. Danny Masterson. Some people can't stand Danny Masterson because of the way he used his fame connections to allegedly prey on vulnerable women. The former That 70s Show star was convicted in 2023 on 2 counts of forcible sexual assault, with accusations spanning over 2 decades. Prosecutors argued that Masterson drugged and forced himself onto women at his Hollywood home between 2001 and 2003. Jane Doe No. 1 testified that she was rendered unconscious while Jane Doe, number 2, said she repeatedly told him to stop. And yet, for years, Masterson dodged accountability, protected by a powerful network of influence. Even when actress Leah Remini helped push the case forward, the Church of Scientology allegedly tried to silence the victims. Masterson was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. People are also disgusted by how long Masterson evaded justice, aided by his deep ties to Scientology. The church allegedly pressured victims not to go to law enforcement and instead settle grievances internally. Chrissy Bixler, one of the accusers and a former Scientologist, claimed church officials discouraged her from reporting the assault and told her it was her fault for being 1.1 on the tone scale. Another woman said she was stalked, her dog mysteriously died, and she received threats after filing a lawsuit against Masterson and the church. Even after his conviction, Scientology whistleblowers like Mike Rinder and Remini said the church's efforts to protect him haven't stopped. The judge even acknowledged the victim's bravery for speaking out against both Masterson and the powerful religious organization. Number 8. Kylie Jenner. People see Kylie as the poster child for performative wealth, and some didn't like it when Forbes named her the youngest self-made billionaire in 2019. Folks pointed out that Kylie grew up in the ultra-privileged Kardashian-Jenner empire with a $100 million TV platform, brand deals, and family clout. Hardly a bootstrap story. Forbes later retracted that billionaire status in 2020 when she was exposed of inflating figures and providing misleading financial documents for Kylie Cosmetics. People also resent Kylie's role in distorting beauty standards. Her dramatic physical transformation, from thin lips and girl next door features to ultra-plumped lips, exaggerated hips, and an hourglass figure, has influenced millions of young girls to believe they need surgery to be beautiful. Folks also resent Kylie's constant use of Photoshop and filters, and she's been caught multiple times editing her photos to appear slimmer or more curvy, often leaving behind distorted backgrounds or unnatural body lines. Number 7. Amy Schumer. Some don't like that Amy Schumer is a joke thief. She's been accused by fellow comedians of lifting jokes or punchlines that bear a striking resemblance to material by Wendy Liebman, Patrice O'Neill, Kathleen Madigan, and others. A lot of people also see Amy Schumer as someone who plays the victim when criticized, often deflecting rather than owning her missteps. After the 2016 joke theft accusations, she tweeted that being accused hurt her feelings and described it as mean girl stuff. Others criticize Schumer for using feminism as a marketing brand while frequently contradicting feminist ideals. Her 2015 movie Trainwreck was promoted as a progressive, female-centered rom-com. Yet many felt it leaned into the same tropes it claimed to subvert: slut-shaming, stereotypes, and romantic validation. Folks also don't like that she is repetitive and relies heavily on sex jokes, self-deprecation, and crude humor, and many find her themes recycled. Number 6. JoJo Siwa. Some people criticize JoJo for still dressing, acting, and speaking like a child, despite being 22 and heavily built. She's often described as rude and overbearing, even toward her own family, and tends to boast about her lifestyle, giving off a spoiled vibe. Many claim she lacks real talent, pointing to her auto-tuned music and overpriced merchandise as evidence of her shallow appeal. Her hypersexualized performance in the Karma music video didn't sit well with a lot of people, and her declaration that she invented the already existing genre of gay pop sparked mockery and eye rolls. JoJo's unwavering support for Abby Lee Miller, especially after the Dance Mom star was caught on tape racially abusing children and mistreating parents, has also raised eyebrows, with some questioning her judgment in aligning with such a controversial figure. Number 5. Will Smith. Some people despise Will Smith now because of that infamous Oscars slap that shattered his good guy persona. At the 94th Academy Awards in 2022, he walked on stage and slapped Chris Rock across the face after a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. The moment went viral, shocking audiences, and earning Smith a 10-year ban from the Oscars and a whole load of haters. What made things worse was that he accepted the Best Actor award minutes later and gave a tearful speech trying to frame himself as a protector of love, without apologizing for the slap. Jim Carrey, Zoe Kravitz, and others publicly condemned him, and even Black Twitter had mixed reactions, with some calling it an embarrassment to the community on such a global stage. People also resent how Smith took too long to offer an apology to Chris. Didn't like that he then released a YouTube apology video many found calculated and robotic, and don't necessarily love the fact that he allows his wife to publicly humiliate and disrespect him to the levels that we've just seen. Some have called him a narcissist, and others do not like his permissive parenting style. Number 3 and 4, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. There has been a recent surge in negative sentiment towards Blake Lively and husband Ryan Reynolds, primarily due to a public controversy surrounding the film It Ends With Us and their response to it. At the heart of these negative sentiments is her escalating legal feud with director and co-star Justin Baldoni. Lively filed a lawsuit accusing Baldoni of sexual harassment and fostering a hostile work environment during filming. In response, Baldoni countersued not just Lively but also her husband Ryan Reynolds and her publicist, claiming they engaged in defamation and civil extortion, allegedly trying to hijack the production and smear his reputation publicly. Folks also didn't like the way she promoted the film. It Ends With Us deals heavily with domestic violence and emotional trauma, but many felt she struck the wrong tone in interviews, too flippant and overly self-promotional. People also didn't exactly love how she encouraged fans to wear floral attire to screenings and how she used promotional appearances to plug her alcohol and hair care brands. People also loathed Ryan Reynolds' working-class comment. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Reynolds claimed that both he and Lively grew up very working class. Given Lively's upbringing in a Hollywood family, many found the claim disingenuous and out of touch, with one fan stating, "Ryan and Blake are so out of touch and desperate to be seen as relatable, it's pathetic." Number 2, Bella Ramsey. Bella here, best known for their roles as Lyanna Mormont in Game of Thrones and Ellie in HBO's The Last of Us, is hated for their looks. Some fans of The Last of Us have referred to them as the ugliest woman on the planet, and fans of The Last of Us video game are unhappy. Bella was cast as Ellie, saying that they didn't look like the video game version of the character. Others do not like their acting and have called them a pathetic actress and discuss replacing them with Kaylee Spianey, the actress from Civil War. One fan states, "I wonder if AI is advanced enough to convincingly replace Bella with Kaylee." Some have also referred to Bella as a progressive clown and don't like their use of "they stroke them" pronouns. The hate towards her has been so bad that she's deactivated her Instagram and Twitter accounts. Number 1, Kanye West. Some are fed up with Kanye West for his erratic public behavior. Remember in 2009 when he stormed the stage at the MTV Video Music Awards and interrupted Taylor Swift's acceptance speech, declaring that Beyoncé had one of the best videos of all time.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
He tried to pull a similar stunt at the Grammys when Beck won Album of the Year over Beyoncé. He didn't grab the mic this time, but he did walk on stage and later told interviewers that Beck should have given his award to Beyoncé. People also don't like that he's compared himself to Jesus Christ, even going as far as wearing a crown of thorns on Rolling Stone's 2006 cover and calling himself Jesus. And some aren't fond of him for his anti-Semitic sentiments. During and after his divorce from Kim Kardashian, Kanye repeatedly harassed her and her then-boyfriend, Pete Davidson, releasing disturbing music videos depicting violence against Davidson, posting private family matters on Instagram, and accusing Kim of denying him access to their kids, all which served to gain him more haters. People extremely loathe his ego and do not particularly like that he has a knack for undressing Bianca Censori on the red carpet and in live streams.